Here we got a 2017 C300 here. We got to do front struts, rear shocks. RIP to me, because I decided to do legs yesterday. And now I got to do all this work on front end suspension. Legs are going to be like a baby deer. Not looking forward to it. But we're going to get to it. Believe it or not, I don't mind doing German car suspension work. Even though I'm a Honda person. Simple. But believe it or not, these German cars, things don't get seized up that much. Jinxed it again, like I love to do. Let's get to it. So let's see what we gotta do here. Probably gonna make this ABS wire loose. Got the brake line's already loose. Somebody was already touching that. Sway bar link gotta come loose. I guess we're gonna start with sway bar link 18. The other side is on. I might not even have to take that out, to be honest. Start taking these ABS wires off. I mean, they got some slack. Brake line is already off the bracket, so those are slack. I'm gonna leave that there. Alright, so we're gonna take the bottom bolt out holding the strut. The nut is a 21 and the head of the bolt is a 24. So we're gonna try to get that up now. This might be too short, actually. Nope, it's not. Put this nut back on and we hit this bolt through. There's that. So this whole assembly moves now. So we could guide this to come out this way. We push down enough. This will move. Turn this way. Push down. Or I could stop moving like a caveman. Put a pry bar under there. So now you pry down, and now the strut wants to come out this way. Alright. Now, here, you unlock this. There's going to be 3 nuts up here. So, these are 15s. Well, that was a different nut. So, seems like somebody was in here already. There's supposed to be 16s. So, somebody was in here and put a different nut on that already. The brake hose. And it should slide right through this hole here. There it goes. want to be very careful with the ABS wire and the brake hose when you're taking this out. I know we also got an experiment recently. The guy put all those weights on the brake hose to see what it can handle, but you don't want this getting caught up on there. You don't want those problems. Alright. So I see where the extra nut came from, and why the brake hoses was off of this. Somebody did try to do this already, and they, you know, I guess couldn't do it, couldn't figure it out, because the nut that was on there, that was a 15, is right here. So, there's that. Take all this off. Also, there's these two straps holding this on for the brake hose. They basically have to break to come off, because I couldn't get them off. So, replace them with some zip ties to hold it. This little tab right here is where that has to go into that, so, like so. Alright, now it's time to go back in. And through your brake hose. I want to make sure this stuff still gets routed the same, because you don't want to put it back together and it's not routed right, and then you gotta take it back out. Or do what some hack jobs do and leave it like that. You don't want, we don't do that around here. So I got it into the top here. Start one of these. Hold it. Get the other two. Put it on there. Alright, those are started. What I want to do before I go any further is get the bottom lined up. This right here, I keep hitting my head trying to get y'all the angles, so I hope y'all run up the likes on this one. So that bolt is through. What we're gonna do, run these top ones down. The new nuts on these are 15. Those are on right there. All right. Tighten this bottom nut. Tight. Let's start routing all our stuff back. We're gonna leave the sway bar link for last because I had to remove the other side in order to get this side out. So I don't want to run into problems on that side. So it's in here, comes down, goes into there, into this little bracket, comes here, goes through here, right here, clips in there, clips in there. I don't know if you can see it. Brake hose clips in there and there. Also, what you want to keep in mind is when you're putting the new one in, this curve right here is always facing the axle. So this side is done. I'm gonna do the next side, but my next video will be me doing the rear shock, because the other side is basically the exact opposite of this. It's the same exact thing. So lining up these sway bar links, this stud right here, I already lined up the other side. But Mercedes, they kind of give you like a little cheat code here, because you could pry on it and the spring. There's a little dowel on this that lines up on a little notch in there. So make sure you pay attention for that when you're lining it up, because the last thing you want is for that to not be lined up. You've got this on and it breaks something. Also, what I don't suggest is how I had it in the beginning of the video, to hit here to try to push it through there instead of prying and taking the tension off, because you will mess up these threads. You don't want to do that.